Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. I know you've probably seen a lot of other videos where people are testing out those silicone sponges, but I really had to find out whether or not it actually worked. Today, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to put the AOA Studio Wonder Jelly Blending Sponge, I don't know how I feel about this, up against my tried and true EcoTools sponge. This is my favorite thing ever. It beats out the Real Technique sponge. It beats out the Beauty Blender for me. I just absolutely love it. So I guess let's go ahead and open this package. I don't even know how this... Oh, I see. I see. Oh, Lord. Oh, I dropped it. Oh, shoot. Okay, so I had to go wash this before we tried it because I already dropped it. But let's read what's in the back of this package really quick and see what it is supposed to do. So it's called the Wonder Jelly Sponge. This hygienic and makeup-saving gel sponge applies liquid and cream products beautifully. The unique shape allows you to use on large areas of the face as well as hard-to-reach corners. Easy to clean, just use soap and water. Reusable. Thank you for letting me know it's reusable. I mean, kind of thought it was, but okay. How to use. Put a small amount of foundation on the face. Dab and blend with the Wonder Jelly Sponge. Repeat and build coverage as needed. Clean and air dry pad before your next use. Okay, so this feels super crazy. It's like it has an outer layer, like a casing. Like this is enclosed in like a gel casing because it kind of wrinkles when you squish it. Like the outer layer wrinkles, but the inside looks fine. I don't know if you can see this, but it is super strange. It does it on both sides. So the front side and the back side both do this weird wrinkly thing, but okay. So the foundation that I'm going to be trying this out with today is the Bourjois Radiance Reveal Healthy Mix Foundation. I wanted one that I knew how it performed, and I also was able to control how much I used. So I'm just going to try one pump on both sides of my face. I've already primed it. I've used my Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Light. And the Wonder Jelly Sponge does say to put a small amount of foundation on the face. So instead of going directly onto the sponge, I'm just going to squirt some out on one pump on the back of my hand, and I'm going to take my finger. It would help if I had a mirror. Okay, so I'm going to take a mirror and just dot this all over my face. Alright, now that I look super crazy, I'm going to do my left side with my regular sponge, and I'm going to do the right side with the weird jelly sponge. So I'm going to go ahead and start patting this in on my left side. I don't think I actually normally wear this much foundation on each side, but for the purposes of this video, I thought it would be a lot easier to test knowing that I had dispensed the exact same amount of foundation on both sides. So, one pump chump. Okay, so you can see now on the left side of my face, we did get a nice even application with the EcoTools sponge, and we got pretty straight up medium coverage, so not bad. Now it's time for the moment of truth. We're going to test out this weird sponge. I'm going to put one more pump on the back of my hand, and I put it in a different spot just so we're not mixing anything. I'm going to dot this on my face just like I did on the other side. I feel like I might regret using so much on this side, but, you know, for science. Alright, so this says dab and blend with the Wonder Jelly Sponge. So, I guess it doesn't really matter what side I use. They're both weird. So, alright, let's dab and blend, I guess. This is super weird. I am dabbing and blending just like the instructions said, but I don't know if you can see it very well, but it is leaving these little sponge-shaped streaks all the way up and down my cheeks. Okay, this whole dabbing and blending thing just like, it's really not working for me. Nope, even just trying to like smooth it out, still leaving these little sponge-shaped marks on my face. Ugh. Also, I can tell you, this straight up lied about getting into hard to reach corners. There's like this little extra bit of plastic or gel or whatever this is on the edge. It has like a whole extra little like border. So it makes it really difficult for this to get into little corners without causing marks on your face because of this little plastic border, and it's not, I feel like super lied to. I also feel like you have a lot less freedom of movement with this, whereas the sponge, you have a lot more control. This is so, oh my gosh, this is so difficult to get to look nice, and it's not very good up near your hairline because it gets all in your hair. It's all in my eyebrows now. Just, oh. Okay, so I did the best I could on my right side, but it looks like a giant mess. I don't know how well you can actually see it on camera because I can't really see it that well in the viewfinder, but I feel like in the mirror you can really see the line down the center of my face where we applied it differently on each side. It is such a big difference to me. This foundation is actually slightly too dark for me, but right now it's really not so bad because we've been spending a little more time in the sun, you know, going for afternoon walks and stuff. So this one really matches me pretty decent right now. This side where I used the crazy sponge, it already looks like there's nothing on it too. Like, I don't understand this. It looks really orange to me and really cakey. I don't actually feel like the coverage looks a whole lot better though. I thought with this jelly sponge, you know, not having it get absorbed into this like a regular sponge would mean that I would get better coverage on this side. But no, not really. It just looks super cakey and really like poorly done, you know? Like, you really, I don't know if you're in a rush or just didn't take your time with your foundation. It just doesn't look that good, especially up near my hairline because it's all in my hair too. Ugh. It was especially hard to get around my nose and under my eyes. You know, I have like a fairly deep crease right here along the side of my nose, and I don't think I actually got it at all with any foundation, and I haven't set this. So this side is completely dried down without having set it, and this one is still, I have foundation on my fingers. It's kind of gross. Okay, so I tried to scoot a little closer so you guys can see the difference. This is the side where I use the jelly sponge, and this is the side where I use my EcoTools sponge. It also says that you can go in with this and repeat and build coverage as needed. I don't know that this is actually going to build well with this sponge either because it went on so cakey on the first layer. You know what? Let's just try and see. Normally for me this foundation is very buildable, but I do want to test it with both so I can show you what I'm talking about. This is the Wonder Jelly side. It actually did better on this second layer, but I kind of feel like now it's just disturbing what I've already put down. Okay, now we'll do the sponge side. Oh my gosh, so much quicker with the sponge. It was a lot easier to blend it the second round on the jelly sponge side, but I felt like it was disturbing the makeup that was underneath it already, and now it's just kind of, it's more cakey and still, now it just looks patchy, you know, in the areas where it kind of picked up a little bit of what was underneath, whereas the sponge blended out that second layer seamlessly. And so it's so much quicker. This is not quicker either, let me tell you. This side took at least 2 or 3 times longer to do than this side did, and it didn't even come out better. Well, I think the idea of a sponge that doesn't absorb some of your product is amazing. I don't think, even for $1, that these are actually worth using. I don't mean to sound negative about it, you know, there's lots of reviews out there, you guys can watch all these other videos, but I imagine it could work for some people, but for me, no. Just, no. I don't know if it's because my skin is super oily, or if it's just because it's textured because of, you know, acne scarring or whatnot, but even just between like a sponge and a brush, I always prefer a sponge because I just feel like the sponge will get into the little areas where like my acne scarring is that are a lot harder for a brush to get into, and they tend to just kind of swipe over instead of really getting into my skin. I also feel like brushes leave my skin really streaky looking. I haven't found a foundation yet where I don't feel like it looks really streaky. And that's kind of the impression that I got with the jelly sponge. It left a lot of streaks on this side, and it was really difficult to blend them out. It also caked up really bad, especially around my hairline. It actually got in my hair. It's kind of gross. It also didn't, well, I don't want to say it didn't build well. It actually was a lot easier to blend when I was trying to build the coverage, but I felt like it left the spots where I tried it really, really patchy. Especially like right here. It just, ugh. No. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know it was a little negative. I did not intend for it to be like that, but you know, there will be products that you really love, and there's some that you really don't like. And while I don't hate the sponge, you know, I don't think it's the most awful thing I've ever tried. It is definitely not something that works for me. If you guys enjoy these videos, like always, be sure to give them a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you guys are having an awesome weekend, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!